Okay, these are some video reflections on education and society for assignment number 4. And I started by thinking that I've never really thought about the relationship between education and society before. I mean, now it seems kind of funny that I never did, but and obviously it's clear that they are related, but I just didn't think about how. And now through these assignments, I first of all had to think about the historical context, and the interview that I did was very interesting in that it just made me realize how much what we think about society and what the society is supposed to do, how much that influences education and what we are doing in schools. So it helps me to realize or to understand better why we are having curriculum reforms, for example. That it's not a random thing. It's not because, just because we want to have something new, but it's because the curriculum that we have no longer reflects what the society wants us to do in schools. And particularly some teaching in a vocational college, I think it's super important that we think about the society around us and the local communities and the environment, because we're training people for vocations that are needed in the towns and in the cities that are close by, and hopefully keeping our young people here, so training them for our own needs rather than just to send them away or and I think I've changed my attitude towards thinking or towards teaching a lot. Partly because of the stuff that I've done for this course, but also obviously through just gaining more experience as a teacher. And I think about the job requirements a lot more when I'm teaching, because when I started, I was just teaching English as a medium in a way, or just for the sake of it, and I was just doing what we had in the book. So I was just going through the same exercises. And now I think a lot more about what are these people, like my students, what will they need in the future? Like, do they need more grammar, and do they need the correct word order, or do they need the professional vocabulary, and do they need the courage to speak? So thinking about, this is my 3rd year in the same vocational college, and my courses are very different from the first year. We just talk a lot more, and I come up with exercises that I think are useful for them or will be useful for them. Partly this is also because we have the new curriculum since this August, which I think is a really good thing. I really like it, and it emphasizes just getting by in foreign languages in professional situations. So I think that's really good. So I don't have to worry too much about the grammar anymore, or speaking correctly. It's more important that they get the customer served. so it's partly because of the new curriculum that I think it really gives me a lot of freedom to run the courses the way I think is makes sense. But it's also because I think a lot more about what my job is, and that is to help them in this goal that they'll never have a customer that they won't be able to serve because of a language barrier. But I also think differently about the whole teaching job, because particularly in the vocational college, I like to joke that my job is 50% teaching English and 50% teaching them how to be adults. And this used to frustrate me a bit, because I felt like I was wasting my time doing something that took my attention away from English. But now I think this is probably about right. So we are there to teach the kids also about the adult life. So they look at me not just as an English teacher, but as somebody who works. So things like being on time and caring about what I do, and taking pride in my job, that they'll look at me for things like that as well, and not just whether I can teach them correct vocabulary. So I think it's been a really useful course, and it's been very thought-provoking. I've liked it a lot, and it has made me think about things a lot more than I did before. So thank you for making me think, and hopefully helping me on my path to become a better teacher.